Most people think buying an SUV is a sign of success, comfort, status, power on the road. But here's the brutal truth nobody dares to admit. Some SUVs are nothing but traps for the gullible. They're overpriced, unreliable, and designed to drain your wallet while giving you the illusion of prestige. The manufacturers know exactly what they're doing. They play on your emotions, your ego, and your desire to look successful. And the shocking part? Thousands of people fall for it every single day. If you don't know which SUVs to avoid, you're not buying a car, you're signing up for years of regret, massive repair bills, and embarrassment every time you realize you got fooled by clever marketing. So let's expose the 5 SUVs only stupid people buy, because once you hear this, you'll never look at these vehicles the same way again. 1. Jeep Compass. The Jeep Compass is one of those SUVs that looks rugged and adventurous, but that's exactly the scam. People buy it because they think they're getting a mini Jeep Wrangler experience. But in reality, it's a glorified hatchback with a Jeep badge slapped on it. The reliability is horrendous, parts are overpriced, and the resale value collapses the moment you drive it out of the showroom. Most owners end up spending more on repairs than they would have spent upgrading to a genuinely reliable SUV. Jeep knows the Compass is weak, but they bank on the brand name and the emotional pull of the word Jeep. Buying this SUV is like paying luxury prices for a cheap illusion. It screams desperation, not intelligence. 2. Mitsubishi Outlander. At first glance, the Outlander seems harmless. It has 3 rows, a decent price, and some features. But here's the dark truth. It's outdated, underpowered, and built with cost-cutting in every corner. The interior feels like it's straight out of the early 2000s. The tech is clunky, and the engine strains like it's gasping for air every time you press the accelerator. Mitsubishi relies on uninformed buyers who only see the extra seats and assume it's family-friendly. But in reality, those third-row seats are useless. The fuel economy is terrible, and safety scores are questionable. Owning this SUV doesn't make you look like a smart family man. It makes you look like someone who fell for the cheapest trick in the book. 3. Land Rover Discovery Sport. Here's where stupidity turns expensive. Land Rover sells the dream of luxury, adventure, and class. And yes, the Discovery Sport looks stunning, but looks are the only thing it offers. Behind the shiny badge lies a nightmare. Electrical failures, transmission issues, oil leaks, and a repair bill that feels like paying rent on a second home. People buy it for the status symbol. But what's the point of looking classy on the outside if you're crying inside the service center every other month? Smart people know Land Rovers are money pits. Buying a Discovery Sport is like signing a blank check to the repair shop, and the only people who fall for it are the ones too blinded by the badge to think logically. 4. Nissan Kicks. This SUV is a masterclass in false promises. Nissan markets it as stylish, affordable, and practical. But that's the surface story. The reality is ugly. Poor sales, limited support, and one of the weakest after-sales networks in the industry. In many markets, the Kicks has already been discontinued, which means parts availability is only going to get worse. Imagine buying a car today and realizing tomorrow that nobody even remembers it existed. The resale value is abysmal, and reliability isn't consistent. People who buy the Kicks think they're being different and avoiding mainstream choices, but really, they're just setting themselves up to own a forgotten, unsupported vehicle that nobody wants to touch in the used market. That's not smart, it's self-sabotage. 5. Mahindra XUV700 petrol automatic. Now, this one will sting for many. Yes, the XUV700 is hyped. Yes, it's flashy, but hype doesn't equal intelligence. The petrol automatic variants, in particular, are guzzlers, and their long-term reliability is still unproven. Mahindra has a habit of rushing tech-loaded vehicles to market without testing them for durability. Buyers see the giant screen, the ADAS features, and the aggressive styling, and they get hypnotized. But real intelligence means thinking long-term. What happens when that tech fails? What happens when the resale plummets because the market realizes the petrol variant burns money faster than it burns fuel? People who blindly jump into this SUV just because everyone's talking about it aren't making smart choices. They're falling into the classic herd mentality trap. And there you have it, the 5 SUVs only stupid people buy. Now, let me be clear. If you own one of these, don't get angry at me. Get angry at the car companies that sold you a shiny dream and handed you a nightmare. But here's the funny part, most people will still defend their bad purchase in the comments. Like, no bro, my SUV is the best. You don't know what you're talking about. And that's exactly how you spot denial. So tell me, do you agree with this list? Or are you brave enough to admit you wasted your money? Drop your thoughts below, because I know this will trigger debates, and I want to read every single one of them. And remember, at the end of the day, smart buyers don't argue with facts, they learn from them. So, are you the smart one or the stubborn one? Let's find out in the comments.